Good afternoon. This meeting of the Eastham Board of Library Trustees will be video recorded and broadcast over local access channel 8 and through the town website at www.eastham-ma.gov. Meeting is called to order at 4 o'clock. Let us begin. I welcome Jacqui. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
We have the first item on the agenda is the approval of 2 sets of minutes. So may I have a motion to approve the minutes of July 15th as printed in the packet with edits, if any?
I make a motion that the minutes of July 15th, 2025 be approved.
Second, Robin seconds. Any discussion?
I think Sarah has shared an edit with me
Yeah.
today that she just wanted to confirm. I think it was in the July 15th minutes, the estimated cost of the community fridge annually, I think was listed at $1,500. And Sarah just wanted to note that I had estimated the cost to be closer to 20,000, yeah, 25,000 annually.
So this was in the
July
15th?
15th, yes.
I noted that. So she's making an edit to the minutes?
Yes.
Yes, it was under item 6, the director's report. I 5.
This is I'm looking at the August 5th, and I'm looking for that, and I'm saying it's not here. Where is it?
Just because the cost was part of the reason that we had
Oh.
discussed it not being a priority right now.
Thank
So
you.
what number was that? 8?
So in the minutes for July 15th,
Oh,
under
this
my
is-
direct.
Oh,
Never-
director's report.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so she's editing it to what, Sarah? 5,000?
25,000.
25,000 instead of 1,500?
Yeah, that's right. When we discussed it, it was 25.
Yeah, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We all missed that. Okay, so the motion has been made and seconded to approve it with edits. And that's the edit. So Mary? Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Robin? Okay,
Yes.
myself, yes. Sarah?
Yes,
5-0. Okay. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of August 5th?
I move we approve the minutes for August 5th, 2025.
And a second?
second.
Okay, Sarah, second. Any discussion on the minutes of August 5th? Mary?
I'd like to have my last name added. Up in the trustees, Al Alfano, Sarah Higgins, Robin Rowe, Mary, and Willow Shire.
You're just known.
This is Mary.
You dropped my last name.
It's like share.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, well known.
Madonna.
Okay, so we'll accept that edit and, okay, vote, Mary?
I
Aye.
Hello? Mike? Sarah?
Yes, yes.
0, thank you. Okay, Jacqui, you're on. We're gonna talk about the library roof. How exciting.
How exciting, right? It's just not. So I don't know where you want me to start. Do you want me to start where we are right at the moment?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so I went through, sometimes when I have a problem that I can't solve, I go back to the beginning, and so I went through the entire library construction folder and looking for, answers, and also looking for a precise version of the history of how many times we've touched the roof, who's touched it, so anyway. And through that, I think that the best consultation we've gotten has been from Simpson, Gumpert and Hager. They're a world-renowned structural engineering firm. It's all they do. And so I said to Melanie, I'm just gonna call the engineer that was here before, Jason Danian, and see if, he can come back out. Because I think, we need to start from the beginning again in some ways. So I did talk to Jason. He is coming out to do a walkabout, and he wants to go onto the roof, the week of September 8th. Probably Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of that week, maybe. He's gonna get back to me with the exact dates and times, but I told him where we had left off since the last time he's been here, and I said, we've had 2 more repairs since then. I'm losing hope that repairs are the way to go. I'm very concerned that we have to replace the roof. And, he's a structural engineer, so he was very, very good talking me down from the ledge and saying, look, we have to look at it again. I'll look at it, I'll get you a scope of services. And once we have an assessment of where we are now, then we'll work together with the plan, because, a roof, if this is not, because the roof is part of the structure of the building, unlike a regular normal roof, you're basically taking your whole head off your body, right? So we don't want to, so he's like, we're not going to rush into that. We are definitely going to come up with something, and I can be there as early as September 8th. So that's the good news.
Well, tell me, can you spell his last name for me?
Yes, it's DE capital ANIAN.
Thank you.
And I pronounce it Danian. He might be Danian. So that's what I have. I also, Rich and I have been preparing financially for the past couple of years. We're preparing for roof replacement. So, we're trying to stash cash away in the capital budget for that. So, one of the things that I did find was, the cost estimate for the original roof in 2014. There's been a 36% escalation in construction costs since 2014. So, but that's my bottom line for right now. What we
So will he be able to tell us if it's not the roof?
Yes, he's a structural engineer, so
he'll,
yeah.
because I'm just wondering if it's not the roof, if it's wicking in from the side, if it's doing something not the roof.
Well, that's interesting, because he was asking me to describe it, and I was trying to describe it, and I said, I have total respect for water. Water will find a way, right?
Mhm.
So it's very hard to look at something and say, oh, it's coming from here,
Right. Right.
And so I said to him, it does leak predominantly in the same places. It is on that valley. But we're worried because we can go months without a leak, and then a rainstorm in a particular direction or a particular duration, and we get a real total mess.
That's
So,
what makes me suspicious that it's not the roof.
well, but it could be collecting.
It could.
My worry all along is that we're doing structural damage to the building because it's collecting in places and sitting there, and that's obviously not good.
Right.
But yes, he'll be able to, and that's why he wants to. I think he'll look at it from below, and then he'll go up on the roof on the top.
I just hope he looks at the side.
Okay, we'll add the side.
Yeah, make him look at the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if anyone can do it, I think these people can do it. I think they're the right firm, whether he's the right person or we need to get his compatriots down here too. But I do think that they're the best. So let's start with the best and not fool around with these patchy repairs anymore. Yeah.
Well,
So many people touch the building now.
Well, that's my problem.
Yeah.
So I think, and of course, Mary and I chatted, and I can go back over and say, well, was that decision a mistake? Was that decision a mistake? But I do think that if I had to go back over again, I think I'd make the same decisions again, at least at the beginning, because everyone was willing to work on it. So we had you know, we had NASA Construction, we had Capeway Roofing, we had the architect, everyone was like, okay, we can work on this together. And as discouraging as it is, I'm not sure I could have really sued anyone who was saying, oh, we'll fix it for you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
So,
yeah, roofs are difficult.
but
Very
I
difficult.
have checked
The
into,
warranty.
yes, the warranty, and while there is an 8-year warranty that is the most stringent in terms of construction, there's also a 10-year warranty for other issues. So I have asked town council to just, you know, let's go back and do a quick search and
Mhm.
see if there's anything that we can do to bookmark a lawsuit. As I said to Mary, I think I want to go, I'm gonna be the one who's gonna probably be presenting this to town meeting, and I want to be able to say, we have done everything we could.
Mhm.
And so
Okay,
I'll explore that piece. Michelle Randazzo, our attorney, does not have high confidence that we would prevail because from the beginning, it has been very unclear whose fault it was,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
There's clearly a flaw,
Mhm.
Yeah,
But-
that's a given.
right? But who caused it? And now as Debbie said, we've touched it so many
Mm.
times and so many different
different
people
people.
have that is now, I think, a liability for us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm very sorry that this beautiful building is facing this ongoing challenge, and I know it distresses you. I'm sure the staff is like so tired of talking about it, and I don't know. I mean, some people will understand and some people won't, you know,
Mhm.
only God is perfect.
So I
Okay.
have a question, and we talked about it the other day. The cost of a new roof. And we also talked about the fact that, you know, back in 2020, was it, when we got the bid, not the bid, but the estimate because of the solar panels.
Yeah,
And at the time that was in 2020, there was close to essentially 140,000
Right.
at 2020 time period. What figure do you feel, well, do you have an idea of what you think the cost would be? You say you're putting monies aside in order to cover this.
Yeah.
What, are you waiting for Jason's to? Jason.
yes, definitely. But I think that we are, I mean, I don't want to upset you any more than I already have. But I mean, we're planning on $2 million.
Mhm.
So I think that the roof, as we built it in 2014, the estimate was roughly $400,000. If you add 40% to that, you're in the $1.5 million, 1.6 range. And then I think we have $300,000 with the removing, storing,
Mhm.
and then
And replacing.
replacing the solar panels. So I'm in my head, I'm thinking 2 million, and that's where Rich.
Mhm. That's sort of what the ballpark figure
Yeah.
that you're.
So there's no doubt we will not have enough money by next year
Yeah.
to afford it. So we'll be asking for money for it. And that's why I think it's so important for me to, just for myself, if for no one else, to have gone back over everything and just know what where the decision points were, so that, you know, I can take responsibility for it and we can hopefully move on.
So Jason is part of the SGH operation, and they've been here before.
Yes.
I'm just thinking in my brain that they've looked at it before, and they've thought they had the answer before, and they did what they thought they needed to do to fix it before, and now he's coming back again.
We didn't end up going with his plan.
So that's what
The
I,
second time we didn't.
oh,
And
the
I
second
think-
time, okay.
I'm not sure whether we didn't, or it was that we were also going back to Nauset Construction and Cable. So I think everybody had their flair or
Mhm.
and that's what I said to Jason. I think that on that second repair,
Mhm.
something happened.
Mhm.
that created a new flaw,
Mhm.
created a new problem. I mean, I have no way of knowing that for
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
But my guess is we have cut the membrane.
Mhm.
And once you've cut the membrane on a metal roof, everyone tells me, you know, the water is gonna
Mhm.
find its way in. So I think the missing piece is contract supervision. So when I look back again and say, what would I do differently? I would have put someone up on that roof. So I'd pay Jason or one of his people to be on the roof when they're fixing the roof.
Mhm, mhm.
I think that's what we have to do differently
Yeah,
this next time. To make sure that the engineering solution and the construction solution
Mhm.
Match.
Matt,
match. And we didn't have anyone to go up on the roof.
no, I wasn't up there. I don't think Melanie was. I don't think
Yeah.
you were.
And now we have Scott. I mean, Scott would crawl up on the roof with
Yeah,
them too, but
yeah.
we didn't have him then, so.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's where, if I had to do anything differently, that's what I would do. I would have paid them. And I think it was like $6,000 or something. I mean, it was something that is not a lot of money as we think about it now,
Mhm.
you know?
So your thinking is that we're talking about 2 million and we're talking about our town meeting this coming May, next May 2026.
If he tells me that they can get a plan done
Mhm.
and a cost estimate done for
Mhm.
that, yeah. Yes,
Okay,
that would be the intention. At least design money. I mean, whatever we need to do to move forward.
so if you're thinking that if everything went according to what you'd like it to go, would come to town meeting in May,
Yeah.
would be approved, and the work would be done in this.
I think we'd have to schedule it, stage it, how it's best for the
Yeah,
library.
right, because I'm thinking the summer is not,
Yeah, summer's not good, but winter's not good either.
I
don't
know, I know.
We'd have to really, that would be the biggest challenge, I think.
Mhm.
But I don't want you to go there yet. I mean, I know I was there with you before I talked to Jason, but I really would like to give him one more shot at this
Mhm,
before we.
Given that he seems, I was not necessarily expecting that he'd be available to come on site. That seems pretty soon. So, there's been some discussion about trying to fix the floor upstairs, but I think it would make sense to wait until after he does that. to
Yes.
Make
Yeah.
any, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, sorry about that, but yes.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
it's, you know,
So one last question, just tell me the company he's with.
It's Simpson,
Terrapin.
Gumpert, Gumpert. And Hager, Heger.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
no,
Jackie,
I'd just like to say that I think, based on everything that I have seen from the time we opened this library, that everybody in town, and even people that don't live in town, are very appreciative of the library, and they love the library. And I think that when we tried to get the bond back, the 4.5 bond, and we were sitting there in the high school with our fingers, nails in our mouths, saying, oh my God, I'm not sure this is gonna pass. And it passed overwhelmingly. So I think because we have, from my perspective, because we have that love of the library, that I think that would be helpful in the process of getting people
No doubt.
to approve
Yeah.
something, compared to, oh, that's an old building and there's no point in putting money into that building and no, I don't use it anyway, and
Yeah,
it's not
no.
helpful to anybody, and
The criticisms that I've seen when we had the last major leak and people were like on Facebook and the Independent did an article and people were complaining. It's more towards us and the construction management
Mhm.
than it was of the library in
Right.
general. And I think, you know, we've done a lot of construction in the last 12 years and, you know, it would be, I think, not reasonable to expect that everything is perfect.
Mhm.
So, you know, unfortunately, though, this is a hard one. You know, it's not like a.
not
an easy thing.
easy, and it's not a small amount.
There is no doubt that we have to fix it, and there's no doubt that they will.
Mhm.
I mean, I think they'll complain about it, but I think they will,
Yeah.
because it doesn't make sense to leave a
Continue.
Yeah.
leaking library.
yeah, right, we can't believe it. Well, again, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jackie, for the update.
I'm sorry.
And
We have
Yeah.
nothing but bad news, but Jason's coming, so that's
Yes,
good.
that's-
news.
No, it's right that you went through all the records and stuff and,
Yeah.
you know, can absolutely a timeline so that when at town meeting, you know, if there is one, everybody, you can say. We literally did
We
everything
could.
we
Yeah.
could before we did the major $2 million or whatever it's gonna
Right.
cost.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
And that's
'cause
the
I think
thing, we
that's what
get
people
to,
wanna know.
Yeah.
that everything was done.
how far do we limp along?
Right.
That's my concern, is now we're getting
Yeah.
into the,
Exactly.
And it worked for wastewater with the work that was put together, proving that what we needed to do made sense.
yeah. So I think once Jason comes up with whatever he's gonna say, then we need to meet again and just, go over what the decision points are,
Mhm.
what is he recommending? Do we agree with it? So
Mhm.
stay tuned. They're pretty fast. So I would say if he's out here in September, I'll get a scope of work probably a week after that, and then they'll schedule something to come out
Mhm.
right away. So we should have something by late fall, I would think, some
Okay.
idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Jackie.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on, public, we do not have any members of the public, so we'll skip over friends.
Oh.
Debbie?
Well, for the seventh consecutive year, we have received a $5,000 donation from the very generous Eastham couple who helps fund our ebooks and audiobooks budget. It started out with our plea in the newsletter back in, I guess, 2019. When the ebook stuff really kicked in about, it was back to Deb, wanting money to fund the line, and, they were one of the few, well, there was about 10 people who sent extra money, and they were the ones that sent $5,000.
Mhm. I just want to say that they've been doing that for years and
Yeah.
they're friends of mine and
Yeah.
they were giving to Albiffy before they gave
Right.
to the friend.
Well, they're friends of Judy's, which is how the
Yeah,
ebook thing
yeah.
came up, because Sally was all about helping Judy.
Yeah,
With this,
great.
because anyways, Mary Ann's retirement party, I'm unfortunately gonna be away, my grandson's getting married in Rochester. So Kathy, Tricia, Janet and Colleen have offered to help Melanie and the library staff with the setup and during the party and the cleanup and all that kind of stuff. We approved Melanie's request for the friends and the trustees to split the cost
Mhm.
of the event, and let's see. I don't know how many of you got a chance to attend any of the friend-sponsored summer family programs, but it has been phenomenal this year. Absolutely phenomenal. Standing room only for almost all of the family events.
Yeah, I attended most of them.
Yep. And, shout out to Leah and Mary Ann for the job that they did, and also for the job they did Saturday at the end of summer party. It was great. It was well organized. Leah and Mary Ann had their student helpers from the high school and, helping them with the drawing and the prizes and giving out the ice cream, and they got their ice cream and went out in the garden to eat it. So, it was great. We're excited. The Red Hawk singers and dancers are coming back, and they're coming in August this year, August 26th. And Karen and I had talked about it last year, that because we had it 2 years ago in June and then last year in July, we thought it was only fair to bring it in August this year for the late summer people that are here visiting, as well as the people who are working here. So apparently I had written down that hopefully the library floor work will go as planned, because the building was supposed to reopen that day at noon. But I guess, are we talking now? We're not gonna do it?
Are you? Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna hold off
Okay,
on
I
that,
think we
so
got it.
maybe,
Good.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And the remainder of the meeting was devoted to our Windmill Weekend Parade entry. The theme this year is Out of This World. And if you haven't seen an 8-foot ET, you will be in the parade. He did an absolutely amazing job, including the paint job. I think I mentioned last month, but I may not have, that we had an original idea of constructing many cardboard UFOs using the clear umbrellas that we had in the parade 2 years ago. Well, that's beyond our skill set. To build 14 or 16 of them. I mean, it was a great idea. But anyways, we're gonna be back to being books this year. So I'm working on the putting the poster covers for the boards together. As we speak, last night, tonight, they're almost done. Anyways. That's it. Our next meeting is September 4th, just before Windmill Weekend.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Okay, thank you. Melanie, Director's Report.
All right, well, Debbie already mentioned, that the Friends approved doing a cost share with the trustees, so I don't know if we need to formally vote on that now, or we can do a more formal, vote when I actually pay for everything and have the exact number.
Yeah, I had the question here also, is do we need a motion now? I think just for the record, by, consensus, I'm assuming that the board members are in agreement with sharing the cost. I don't know that we need to have a motion at this point.
Yeah.
So consensus that we're gonna share the expenses for the retirement.
I'll bring the
Generally
invoices.
okay with that?
Yeah, who are they going to be using? I know, I think Mary Backus wasn't available at for something a while back, so.
Melanie's got it arranged with Sam's.
With,
Sam's.
with Sam's Deli.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Yeah,
And I
just-
figure you can use our credit card and then just charge it all, and then we'll just split the cost, just like we did last time.
Yeah, so well, if you would just show that the consensus of the board was that we will share the cost with the Friends, and then when we get actual numbers, that's when we'll do a motion.
okay. But I just have a question. Do you remember how much, either of you, how much I didn't look through my old notes. What
15.
did we pay, or what did it cost when we did the program for Fran?
1,500,
I'm sorry,
1,500.
1,500?
Yeah.
So that's more than what we've got suggested here, so I just wanted to know.
Gonna
Suggested
put
where,
that in my,
Yeah.
front. Well, the cost is gonna be a little bit less in,
Suggested 1,000, so
it's
I
gonna be-
just wanted to know,
Yeah.
get some idea of what we had spent before to get.
Yes.
okay,
The next update I have is about the creative play space. Hopefully you've all had a chance to see that the materials have been delivered and installed. Big thanks to DPW for stabilizing those materials out there. Leah said that, the kids are really excited about that, and Sarah told me a few times that her kids have played,
Mhm.
so that's great.
Yes, it's awesome. I love it.
Thank you. As a kind of addendum to that, we put up some signage about the poison ivy that's kind of creeping up from the back edge of the yard by the pond there. Corey and I have been in touch with Edible Landscapes of Cape Cod, which is the vendor that Corey's looking to use for the, what he's calling the Library Arboretum project. That project where they're going to identify and label select vegetation on the library property and then do a digital component as well, so that people can kind of learn about our library property from an aerial view as well. And that vendor is able to do some poison ivy removal, and so he's gonna help us do that when he does the plant identification. And there's a couple of areas where we have some plants that are non-native, and he's gonna make a couple of suggestions to kind of swap those out. We've been in conversation with the gardening volunteers about that too, so nothing was a special project by the gardening volunteers that we're taking out and replacing or anything like that. So that's great. That's all kind of coming together. The next update that I have is the strategic plan. The copy that I gave you is basically the final version. Michelle Everly was able to get back to me with a couple of additional suggestions that I just want to mention to the board, that should be simple enough that I think we can still vote on this today. She mentioned just moving a couple of the sections around, just as a structure that's kind of popular with libraries nowadays. For goal number 4, we suggested in the subpart, so goal number 4 is pursue excellence and service. This is on page 15 of the packet, by the way. The Eastham Public Library leadership will support a skilled workforce and maintain a superior facility. Her advice was just that superior without an actual comparison doesn't really mean anything, so she suggested the word exceptional instead. So I was going to integrate that. And finally, the last comment that's really, aside from, a comma here, was a suggestion to include the values statements that staff put together in the staff SOAR exercise, and I thought that was a really good idea. Willow, I will send this to you so that you have that and you can paste it right in. But the staff values are: we value collaboration, nurturing a sharing of ideas and resources to enhance and support the people and nature of Eastham. We value passion for the public, creativity, joy, safety, and making a difference. We value access to materials for knowledge, learning, and growth. We value collegiality, acknowledgement, accountability, trust, honesty, kindness, and respect. So that's just a value statement that I am going to be probably putting on the front of the strategic plan as well.
Now, Michelle Eberly, right?
Yes,
And she's from the
MBLC.
MLS.
MLS.
Yeah. Okay, so with that, the next item on here would be for the board to vote to approve the final strategic plan accompanying FY 26 action plan and the mission statement as well.
May I have a motion that is printed in the packet to approve the Eastham Library, the mission statement, FY 26-20 strategic plan, and the FY 26 action plan.
So moved.
Have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
Second, any additional discussion? Mary?
I, at our last meeting, I had recommended that the word community be capitalized. And I did not hear that anybody had a problem with that, so I was wondering whether that should be capitalized.
Where is that again, Mary?
It's in the mission statement itself, the word
Okay.
community. It was in the minutes, not the minutes, but the packet from last week, last month.
I remember we talked
Strengthen
about that.
community.
I thought it was mentioned, but then we said we didn't think it was necessary.
Right, right.
I don't remember the not necessary part, but
Yeah, I remember it
Yeah.
being mentioned, but then I don't remember it going,
yeah.
No, I
we didn't
didn't, I
make a
thought that
decision
would
on
be
it.
okay without a capital.
Well, I'm okay with it as it is. I can see why it could be capitalized, but I can also see it is not capitalized.
I just didn't think that community was referring to a specific, it's not to like a specific thing that would be, listen, grammar is not my strong suit, but like a noun, like it's, the community could be like a community of the people that go to Eastham Elementary, or I thought it could refer to different groups of people creating not
Right, this
one.
is the generic all community, like,
Yeah,
if it said Eastham community, then we would probably have to capitalize it.
Right.
But
Yeah. And I'm substituting words. If it just said to strengthen community, you could say to strengthen programs, and programs wouldn't be
yeah,
capitalized
yeah.
specific, so I'm doing it by substitution. I'm okay with it the way it is. If anyone wants to make a change,
no, it's fine.
okay. All right, so we have a motion on the floor that's been seconded. We've had discussion. All those in favor, Mary?
Aye.
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 Hi.
So,
Aye.
Bye. Thank you.
Right.
Okay. And, under other updates, anything?
Just wanted to mention that the strategic plan is going to be physically available in the same locations that the community survey was available. And then always available on the website thereafter, for a month physically, and then always available on the website. And just to mention the financial report, I still have a couple of things left to finish, but the ARIS report has been completed and the financial report is soon to be completed.
Okay, thank you, Melanie. Okay. All right, the financial
Excuse
report.
me, Al, I have something that I'd like to bring up under other updates.
Oh, okay.
I was wondering what the status of Mary Ann's replacement was. You haven't given us any information about interviewing, not interviewing, people, not people, timing, overlap, and all that type of stuff.
I have a job ad that's I submitted to HR that's been approved, and Lori Leah and I are going to be the interview committee and we'll be posting that the beginning of September and then looking to do interviews beginning of October.
Okay, because I went online, there's nothing on there right now.
Yeah, it's not been posted yet.
Okay, posted in September.
Yeah.
Do you think that, given the Turnip Festival is in November and Mary Ann will be leaving September 6th, that there's obviously no overlap. This person, if you're not interviewing until September, won't be starting probably until October.
The new person isn't gonna be spearheading the Turnip Festival. I'm gonna be spearheading the Turnip
Oh,
Festival.
okay,
So,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
Okay. Alrighty, anything else then, under other updates? Seeing nothing, okay, Melanie, we're on to the financial reports, the FY 25 operating budget.
So there was a couple of pieces that I accidentally duplicated and missed, including one last month, so I just wanted to make sure we had all of the information from the closeout of last fiscal year for FY 25 operating budget. Does anyone have any questions or comments about that?
Yeah, I have some comments.
Sure.
This is the fiscal year 25.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that the monies that are about the balance under the full-time salaries, is that because of Fran's departure and Leah replacing her? Obviously, I'm assuming that Leah is not receiving the same amount of money that Fran was earning, so.
So what is your question?
You've got a balance under full-time salaries of over 7,000.
So we had to pay out for Fran's retirement and Tina and I worked it out to do a little bit of, I don't remember what the exact wording is, but sort of supplement our full-time salaries. And I think that they just covered us a little bit, extra there. So at one point in time, we had to increase the full-time salary line to make sure we had money for our full-time employee and also the monies that we paid out for Fran's retirement.
So you increased the original budget line?
Tina and I worked it out with Rich.
Okay,
She said that she spoke to you about that.
no.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
you and I
yeah.
can chat about that further,
Yeah.
but basically we had budgeted for an employee who was going to stay the full year because, we didn't anticipate at the beginning of the year retirement. So sometimes that means you have benefits that you have
Yeah.
to pay out at the end of the year. And so Tina and I worked to do basically a budget override essentially so that we had enough money in the full-time budget to make sure that we were covered
Mhm.
there. So we're all good there.
So there's close to 7,600 left that wasn't used.
So I can't really explain that. They gave me an extra amount of money to make sure that we covered our full-time line and that's the money's there.
They gave you extra, but there's extra left. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well, they gave you extra, but all the extra wasn't used.
Anyway. Okay, I have another question under the software, where the budget is 36 for this year, and the expenses were 30, so we had over 6,000 left.
Mhm.
Was that mainly due to a particular thing that I know we have some idea of what we're spending for software, clams, et cetera.
So we budgeted for a little bit more because we always budget the amount for our claims membership fees, excluding the small libraries and network grant that we get. So we always have a little bit extra, and then I don't recall exactly which one we moved around, but we ended up paying a little bit less for either our Spring Share software, which is the library calendar, or the Userful software. I forget which
Userful.
one. One of them was a little bit less.
I think
this year.
Userful was a little bit less. Okay, and I have some questions about if we're going on from here to the 26.
Mhm.
Yeah. So let me see.
So we're on 26 now?
Yes.
Unless somebody else has something on the
Yeah.
25.
Okay.
Yep, we're good.
On the 26, I had a question on the book materials and supplies. And we had quite a bit of money left over in 25. we had a budget of 3 and we only spent not quite 1,004, so we had 1,006 left.
Mhm.
And we still got, and we still got 3,000 for 26. I'm just wondering, is there a reason why there's so much left over, over half, 50% left, almost 50% left over of what we had anticipated, but we're still anticipating 3,000 again for this year?
Well, that cost
So-
can kind of change, depending on if we're getting books that are pre-processed, if we're getting books that aren't pre-processed, if we're doing a lot of book projects one year, Connie might run out of a lot of particular materials. So we didn't do, Rich was working a lot harder this year to make sure that the detail is very apparent there. So we can't see the actual for that specific line going back, I don't think. But I haven't really increased that budget a ton in the past few years. So there was one year where we went over, so I increased it. And then the next year we didn't go over. So I think it's always best to have a little bit of a buffer there, and $1,000 is really, a small amount of our overall budget.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying I'm saying that 50, close to 50% left, which is
Right,
which is
but
not
50
what you would anticipate.
Right, but 50% of
yeah.
3,000 is only 1,500.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, okay. And I guess that, let me see, was that my other? Oh, yeah, I guess that's it for the 26, the 25, 26 for me.
And then we have so that was the 26 operating budget. Everybody else okay there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, the FY 26 fund commitments is next on the list.
I meant to take out the community fridge update in here, so that will be taken out for
Okay.
the next update.
Okay, yeah, that was a question mark that I had.
And I had some questions on the Heritage Quest, the database, which is just under the community fridge. You've got the amount of 1,000, let me see, available balance, 2550.
Mhm.
And so you're anticipating using Billings, Merrill, and Andrist, right?
Yeah, a combination of those to
Yeah.
pay for that.
So that comes to 2247, yeah. Okay, I just wanted to understand that's what you're anticipating, paying for that. Are those costs gonna be an annual thing? So we don't have that type of money to pay for it next year under Billings, Merrill, and Andrist?
Yeah, so the Heritage Quest and Boston Globe was two that we were getting through the state that we're not getting right now. So this is kind of a test to see if it makes sense for us to factor it into our budget. So I'm using, these funds as opposed to integrating it into our operating budget. And we'll kind of see if it's worthwhile for the next year, depending on how things go. I'm hoping that
As far
circumstances
as the
change.
government is
Yeah.
concerned,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're planning on using those monies for this year.
Mhm.
Obviously, there's not monies in those accounts to pay for it on an annual basis going forward.
Correct.
So we'll have to see if we don't get funding that we would like to get, we're gonna have to find another place to pay for those things.
Yeah, these ones specifically, a few of them had restrictions around like genealogy and research.
yeah.
So that's why I focused on those, but we do have a couple of additional memorial funds. Excuse me, the Martha Johnston fund is one that we talked about spending down because it doesn't have an unrestricted balance, and it's also an unrestricted fund. So that has a bit of flexibility too, and that is a pretty healthy account right now. It has over $11,000 in it currently.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a question on the summer reading program, the 17,000. How was that arrived at, the 17,000?
So I did an overestimate because I think it's always better when talking about giving prizes to kids to make sure that we have more than enough. So I took the total amount of summer readings signups and multiplied that times like $10 for a book over the 8 weeks for summer reading. And that's really an overestimate because of course we don't have 250 kids at the start of summer reading, and we're not going to have kids who are here for the full 8 weeks of the full summer. But just in case, I just wanted to make sure that we had a budget that covered everything there. And we had more students, not just students, we had more youth sign up for our summer reading program this year than we did last year. So I had a little bit of a more conservative estimate initially, and then I just figured it was always best to see kind of the maximum there. So that would be the maximum amount that would be spent on books for summer reading.
So that, you're saying that that was done based on $10 per child essentially?
$10 per child over the course
Yeah,
of 8
of the summer.
So $80 per child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're giving a book to a child every week?
Yes, that was what Leah's hope
Not
was.
me.
That's why I wanted to have the full budget in there. Understanding that it's not realistic that we're gonna give away 250 books from the first week to the 8th week. But if we were to give every child who signed up a book for those 8 weeks, this is what that would cost.
Mhm. Okay,
We had a lot more students this year too, a lot more signups. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
over 250.
Yeah.
Did you get the final number? I meant to ask Leah, but I forgot.
I haven't got the final number,
Okay.
but it's very impressive.
and at the last Terrapin meeting, when Mike was here, said that the Terrapin was going to be needing annual maintenance. And nothing was, I forgot to ask him what that entailed and who would be paying for it and the cost. But it's something that he said was going to be needed on a regular basis. I think that's got to be added on here. And I have something that I was going to talk about under other business, but I think it might have to go under here, but I'll wait until under other business.
You mean other business at the end of the agenda?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, okay. Okay, thank you, Melanie.
Welcome.
Next would be the memorial accounts and restrictions. I'm sorry, did anybody else have any comment?
Yes, I have a comment on that.
Okay,
I think for a while there, we were having a hard time getting the bank statements on the CD. And at some point you were either adding them or sending them out individually when you got them or including them in the packet, but I haven't seen them lately.
Yeah.
Have you been getting them? I know we've had some changeover at the
Yes,
town hall.
yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I do have them most recently. Tina and I are working, just because we did have a little changeover in the treasurer's office in town hall, and it's the end of the year. We're kind of catching up on a few things, so I'm happy to give you the bank statements as they are now, but we are there's just a couple of things that need to be sort of clarified there, so it's not totally accurate. We're about $1,000 off. So we're figuring that out.
Okay, so I just want to make sure because we weren't getting them and we
I am
really went
getting
through
them.
and we haven't seen them.
The
So I
current treasurer is being very accommodating,
Okay.
and so we're just trying to get the
Get
process.
everything
because
straightened
we've got
away.
new players in the
Yeah,
game.
you're right. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
And my other comment is, where you show, at the bottom there, the total 115, 243.93. That does not include the state aid monies, at the top of the 32,915. So, either should we include the 32 in that, or should we have a little something attached to that saying
Yeah.
exclude state aid?
Yeah, thank you.
I don't care which way you go.
Yeah.
so you mean like where it says totals, maybe in parentheses excluding state aid?
Well,
Well,
either that
I'll
way
just
or
put it back in. I
add
think
it
that was
in.
a
I
typo,
mean,
yeah.
I would add it in.
Yep,
Okay.
I'll do that. Thank
Rather
you, Mary.
than saying excluding.
Okay, so
state
just
aid.
include it.
Yeah.
Thank you for noticing that.
Okay. So on the memorial accounts, other comments, questions?
We did not have any memorial donations.
Okay. That brings us up to old business. We have the Terrapin sculpture update. I'm assuming, Melanie, you're gonna run us through that?
Yeah, so Mary had reached out to me over email just to make sure that the updated gift acceptance form that the trustees had approved, I think it was back in November, ended up on the website because I had neglected to do that. So that is up there, and that was the version that I gave Betsy Loomis to sign, so we are all set there. Did you have any more questions about that, Mary? Did I?
No, I appreciate the fact that.
Yeah.
Because I went in, or anybody would have gone in
Yeah.
and clicked and nothing comes up,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, thank you. So that should be all set. DPW is going to do the concrete slab for us for the Terrapin installation. Mike is not sure of the exact date and time of the delivery of the sculpture yet, but is going to keep me updated. The unveiling event for the Terrapin will be Saturday, September 6th at 1 p.m. here at the library. That's over Windmill Weekend. Do you have anything else that we need to add about that right now, Willow? Okay, and then the sign permit for the Terrapin sign, I submitted that just informationally, so that you all know that, and yeah, so it's all coming together. Any questions about that?
What's the cost for the slab?
They didn't give me a cost, so I think that they're covering it. So that's great.
I can't believe that. Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That they wouldn't cover, we went through, I went
It's
through
a
8
different,
just to get the slab for our big belly.
yeah. Different
Month.
players, I don't know. John said, just give me the word and we'll get it done. And I said, thank you very much.
Yes. Well, no, that's good to know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
made me
yeah,
really happy. We don't have any additional policies to approve at this time, so that's
Okay,
it
good.
from me there.
Okay, right, old business is done, so we're into new business, parking lot, safety updates, signage for additional parking at town hall. Who would like to speak to that one? Mary.
After our meeting our last meeting here, I went up to the children's program, the animal ambassadors, and after the program was over, I went obviously back to the parking lot to drive home. And in the process of leaving the parking lot, there was a car parked out on the street halfway into the exit area where any cars needed to go out.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it, number one, and you can't see
Mhm.
when a car is, number one, there was barely enough space for me to get out. And you can't, with all the cars there, you cannot see around the corner from cars coming.
right.
And so forth and so on. So in the process of, as Jackie mentioned, I met with her a while back on the roof thing. I talked to her about the parking situation here. And she's fully aware that there are issues with the parking, as we all are. And she said, why don't we put up a sign at this library saying that there's additional parking available at town hall? And I mentioned that to Melanie, and that's what I'm bringing up here today. I'm really concerned about the parking here. Every time, and I'm not here as a greeter anymore, but when I saw cars coming the wrong direction, going out, the in the out. I mean, it's just, and the cars park on the road, and
Yeah,
the place was packed that night.
yeah.
That,
I think that's a good idea. My question would be, what's a good suggestion for where to put it?
yeah,
That people would
see it.
see it and
Would
you know
make-
what I mean? Cause if
make it
you, yeah,
worthwhile.
you can't put it in a parking spot because then everybody who's parked already would cover it up,
I
so.
just, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Would
just.
it be as you're going out the exit? Because
Yeah.
now they don't have a place to park, but then
Yeah.
there'd be a sign that said additional parking at the town hall will give them some place to go.
I think that might be a good idea, because I think if we put it at the entrance, initially I thought, well, you put it at the entrance coming in, but by the time they weave through the
Yeah.
parking lot,
Then
and
just
they're saying,
check
oh, I
it.
couldn't find anything. As they're leaving, if there's something saying, and possibly something with an arrow on it,
Yeah.
And the other thing and this is back to the DPW, because the greenery is vibrant this year. I
Mm.
mean, the trees, the shrubs, everything else, when you're leaving the exit, it is you have to sort of get out there a little into the street in order to make sure that you're not getting traffic up from Depot Road
Mhm.
coming way to the left. And so I know, I think we've spoken to DPW about cutting back some of the bushes there,
Mhm.
so people can see better when they're exiting, because you need to see to the left as well as the right. And, so I don't know, this,
Yeah, I can mention that to John.
Yeah,
He
yeah, yeah.
probably has a good idea about where to put a sign to.
yeah, and there are, I think there are, I shouldn't think, I know there are rules about, we can't just go into anybody's yard and just cut down trees.
Yeah,
There's a, I don't know, 10 feet or
There's a buffer.
some, I'm sorry?
There's a buffer.
Yeah, 10, I can't, I, for some reason I have 10 feet in my mind, but
Yeah.
that could be wrong too. But, yeah,
I think it's a good idea. I'll ask
Yeah.
him about that.
Yeah, see what he says, if he can do it. I would suggest I think there's already a sign there about, the use of, headlights and
Yeah.
use of
yeah,
Wi-Fi.
that's because of the
If he-
house across the street.
Yeah, I know, yeah, if he could, if the sign could be mounted on the same post, so
Yeah.
that we don't have a collection of posts.
Yeah.
That might be,
And the town doesn't like a collection of posts, because I
Yeah.
wanted to put something somewhere and they said there's already enough.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
yeah.
that's,
There's already enough signs on that road. We don't need another one.
yeah,
So,
Yeah,
so, yeah, that might work. Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
it's good ideas.
No problem.
thank you.
Okay. We're on to the building review checklist, so Melanie, we're back to you.
Okay, the floor work repair is moot right now. We're gonna wait on that until, as Jackie said, Jason from SGH comes to take a look and give us more information. I don't have any new updates on the HVAC. I think that we're waiting on the vendor to be available to schedule the work to fix the second compressor unit at this point. We had an elevator inspection last week or the week before, and they noted that our backup battery, I guess, on the elevator needs to be replaced. So I have to check in with DPW to see what the timeline is on that, because they had to come back and do the replacement for that. And that's it for me on the building.
Hey, thank you, Melanie.
What exactly is the status with the HVAC? As far as what is it that's wrong with it? I keep telling people it's one of the condensers is bad. It's my standard line. When it's 83 degrees and people are sweating in the VIS room, it's like, well, one of the condensers has gone bad. They're waiting for a part.
I thought it was, and I could be wrong too, I thought it was one of the compressors, so there's like
Compressor,
three
yeah.
compressors in the building, and I think there's two upstairs and one downstairs,
Okay.
and one of the ones upstairs went, and that was the issue last year.
Yeah,
And then the second one went, and we've just been kind of dealing with it since, and we had a pretty mild winter and a mild spring, so it wasn't super noticeable until.
okay.
And then, everybody's trying to do their HVAC work in the summer, so
Mhm.
I was begging and pleading.
Yeah.
and-
We're busy.
I know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, good. Any other updates? All right, and then
I
other
have one.
an update or the other business, was this?
Oh,
with
other business, I'll wait till
Okay.
other business.
Okay, other business, Mary?
I think it was a couple of months ago where a meeting was scheduled for our Turner Room. And, because we didn't have the appropriate IT, equipment, it was moved back to Town Hall. And, in a discussion that we had with the Finance Committee with the IT people, and Rich, I was asking about why the meeting was moved from, I thought we had what we needed to have any meeting for the town that we wanted to have here. We've had many town meetings here. And I was told that we don't have something, I'm not an IT guru. And so, but Rich told me that we would need to put something in place in order to make us fully compliant as far as usefulness from an IT perspective. And I can't tell you what that is, because I've spoken to Rich, and in fact, I saw him this morning. And he's been busy with wastewater stuff recently, so he hasn't had a chance to put anything together for me. But he has said that this morning that he would like to put together a meeting with me, him, and an IT person to go over exactly what they feel the Turner Room should have to make it useful for the types of meetings that we can't have right here now.
Could I maybe be at that meeting?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I mean, I wasn't aware that he was even thinking of doing that until I
I think
saw,
I should be at that meeting.
until I saw him this
Okay.
morning. And so, as I say, it hasn't been set up because it was just something that came up in the process of running into him at an earlier meeting this morning. So I'm just saying that from my perspective, I think that we have, number one, we have Albifi monies left. I have no idea exactly what this might cost, whether it's something we want to do. But I think it's helpful to make our library useful for the town for meetings. And if it's something that would allow the library to have meetings that we can't have now for whatever reason it is, I think it's something that we should look into. So I just wanted to tell you that I've had the conversation with Rich. And he's told me that there was some things that we would need to do as far as an IT perspective, and I can't tell you what that is because I don't know the answer.
Why don't we just bring that back at the September meeting?
Yeah, that's
Or
fine.
September if we have the information, or October if not.
Yeah.
After, Melanie has had a chance to find out what the specific issue is, and Rich can shed some light on the costs. So I have a note to bring it back. in
Yeah, that's
September,
that's what I
October
wanted to
timeframe.
do.
Yeah, okay.
I watched that FinCom meeting when Sharice was there, and I think you asked her that question and she told you, one of the things she said was, because like, we can't have a live meeting there
Mhm.
because of the connection to the only people that can is town hall with
Mhm.
having a back and forth,
Mhm.
like with Wayne. Number one, we'd need another Wayne if we were having another meeting at the same time. But, something to do with the equipment that's upstairs now was used equipment when it was put in. All that stuff in Mike Caleri office was not brand new at the time. It was either from town hall when they replaced their stuff or somewhere, the high school or somewhere. And I think the thing would be, Caleri was always saying that, like, oh my God, if you ever wanted to go there, it would be, he never would say how much. He always kept saying it's big bucks.
Mhm.
Well, let's
So
see.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see what big bucks actually
Yeah.
translates into.
Yeah,
I mean, because we want to be able to have the
Yeah.
Turner Room used
exactly.
for town meetings, for
Yeah.
regular meetings, so let's find out what it is
Mhm.
rather than spending more time on it now.
Mhm.
And then when we know, we'll make decisions as to what it actually is, what the cost is, and so forth. Is there any other business?
Any other?
Okay, our next meeting then is Tuesday, September 16th at 4:00. And may I have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second,
Second, okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. Mary?
Aye.
Aye.
Paul?
Hi.
Sarah?
aye.
Aye, 5-0. Thank you very much. We are adjourned.
Thanks.